The MG Show. The show is about to start. Buckle up, 'cause here we go!
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Yeah, I can't even comment on that. Wow. Welcome. We got President Trump meeting a communist today in the Oval Office. Wow, what world am I living in right now? Good job, New York. Good job. Shady Groove, welcome to the MG Show. It's Friday.
Yeah, well, they had to, they needed the optic of Donald Trump speaking to a communist, to try to help normalize communism. And so they had to elect a mayor, the communist mayor of New York, to get that done, Jeff.
And I want to just let you know that on YouTube, I cannot comment on YouTube. My channel, the intheMatrixxx, cannot comment on YouTube. And I even tried it, Yeti, on the studio, and I can't comment there either. Why is that? Why can't I even comment in my own chat, Shady?
I have no idea. I'm not a technical guy, bro. Last person to ask that question.
Wow. So, hi, YouTube chat. Sorry I can't comment with you guys. Thank you for coming. Make sure you hit the like button on all the lives. Rumble.com/MG Show is our home base. Today, we will have an hour number 2 talking with, reading we're getting near the end, unless we go back to the couple chapters we skipped, Shady, of Pandora's box, the elite hidden hand behind the new, what is it? Pandora's box?
Unseen hand.
Unseen hand behind the New World Order, which has been quite an apotheosis, Shady Groove.
Yeah, that's going to be today. We're going to get into that today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the apotheosis, so buckle up, buttercups. This one is kind of, in my opinion, about the Great Awakening. As we kind of showed you that the posts that we've followed for the last 7 years kind of map to this book, but nobody wants to tell you that. They just want to attack me and you and everybody here, right, Shady?
Well, it's mapping to this moment. Yeah. And really, we have kind of navigated this and have found ourselves in a position where whatever's coming around is going to fall down around all of you that are out there that have been paying attention, even to especially in the right wing media. And that's what I see happening right now. I see that this whole layer of people that have been excised, if you will, from Donald Trump's administration and are not being communicated with whatsoever, have been making a lot of noise for the last 6 months. And they've been making a lot of noise that is unnecessary noise about absolutely nothing, just so that there can be noise instead of supporting your great president. That's a problem. And I think that a lot of these voices in the wilderness are going to start to go down the drain with the swamp. Let's put it that way.
My other account can reply in YouTube. here, so I'm just going to use this on my phone, I guess. Interesting. Sorry about that. Reply. So there you go, guys. This is my other account, and but I cannot comment with my channel account. That is so weird, Shady. I'm just freaking out.
Odd.
Odd. All right. Make sure you hit the like button on youtube.com/intheMatrixx with 3 X's. That's where we are. Jeff, Facebook, JEFFFB. Jeff, mgshow.link/JeffFB. Jeff FB, Shady.
Got it.
And don't forget X and your favorite podcast platform except for Spotify. All right, so let's get into it. What does Donald Trump think about today and the meeting at 3 p.m. today, guys? We got a meeting at 3 p.m. with Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani. Is that how you say it? Mamdani?
Zohran or Zohan or whatever. What did what did President Trump call him? Kwame. Zohran Kwame Mamdani.
Wait till he comes out and says he's a great guy, and watch all of the InfoWars nuts lose their mind.
Oh my God, it's going to be great. Here, this is today on the Brian Kilmeade Show. President Donald J. Trump. Let's listen.
What do you expect when you meet him face to face?
Well, I don't really know. He's got a different philosophy. He's a little bit different. I give him a lot of credit for the run. He did a successful run, and we all know that runs are not easy. But I think we'll get along fine. Look, we're looking for the same thing. We want to make New York strong, and there's such a different philosophy. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know over the next year, Brian. Okay.
So I know sometimes when you go to sit down with you, Mr. President, sometimes you'll whip out a list and you'll say, "Did you say this about me in the past?" I know Piers Morgan has said that. This is something that might be on your list that he said about you after he won, by the way. Cut 3.
This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
So it's a little bit of a in your face when a time he should usually, after a victory speech, be kind of magnanimous. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I was hitting him a little hard, too, in all fairness. I was, hard to be totally friendly toward the opponent. His opponent wasn't. He had some interesting opponents. But he ran a good race. I don't know exactly what he means by turn the volume up, because turn the volume up, he has to be careful when he says that to me. But nobody really was able. I said, what does that mean, turn the volume up? Does that mean let's go at it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, he was very nice in calling, as you know, and we're going to have a meeting. I guess we'll meet at 3 o'clock today. And I think it's going to be quite civil. We'll find out. You'll be the first to know.
I know. We'll see it at 3 o'clock. Will you open up the doors to the press after?
I think so. I mean, it's fine with me. I would think so. He's a politician, so I don't think he has a problem. The one thing I notice about politicians, the answer is always yes, other than with Biden.
So one thing
Biden,
he did say,
Biden didn't open up doors to his brain.
There's one thing he does say that probably won't be great. He says, I never go back to the days when Eric Adams would go on national television and open the door for the NYPD handling civil immigration enforcement. He doesn't expect cooperation between the NYPD and ICE. That's got to be disappointing.
Well, we're going to be talking about it. I just can't imagine that where you have hardcore criminals. This is about criminals. You can make a case the other way, having to do with others. But, when you have a murderer, when you have a known murderer, a known rapist, a known whatever it is, drug dealers all over the place, I can't imagine that anybody wants to keep them. But I'll have that discussion with them today, absolutely.
Oh, this is going to be good, guys. You heard President Trump playing a little politics, right? Oh, yeah, I think we'll get along fine and da-da-da-da-da. We'll see what happens in the next year. But he has a slightly different outlook on, government, right? It's socialism, right? Communism. And it's going to be good, Shady. That happens today at 3 p.m. in the Oval Office.
So I think the thing that's going to be, really good about this is going to be the way that the left goes after him. You see, because he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Everybody goes out and they make these big promises on the campaign trail, and they say all this amazing stuff. Oh, we're going to give you free this, free that. Free that. Well, guess what? there's no money.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to give anybody free anything, and nothing's going to change really. And the governor is the one that controls your purse strings. So all these promises that you've made people are going to fall flat. Well, guess what happens? A communist will come after a non-communist really hard, but imagine what they do to a communist that's broke promises to them. they're a little bit different. They get a little bit feisty, Jeff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They get all hot under the collar, if you will.
They do. They might, start burning stuff down peacefully, of course.
They always do it mostly peaceful. Correct.
We have a question from Saskia8262. What made YouTube open up again? Just wondering. It's kind of wow. So Jim Jordan had a conversation with Google, and they admitted that they wrongfully censored the president and others, when we are the and others, by changing their terms of service and admitting that they wrongfully did that to censor us. And we're back on YouTube. How's that?
And they changed their policy back to what their policy was before they implemented all of the nonsense back in 25 years ago.
Yep, that's right. So thank you for that question, Saskia. So basically, they admitted they were wrong for wrongfully censoring us. Okay, I mean,
and we didn't do anything wrong to be thrown off of here. We didn't break any of their rules to begin with.
Yeah, they changed the rules. They bent down to government censorship and the big tech censorship, working arm in arm, hand in hand. I mean, we were also taken off Twitter. I was gone for 803 days, Shady. They got our PayPal, our Cash App, our Patreon. They got it all. Spotify, they got that. They still have that. But we do have our PayPal and Cash App. It's Real MG Show on any one of those. If you guys want to submit a donation, we'd really appreciate that. So let's keep going, Shady Group. The president of the United States on Obamacare. This is big. I mean, there's a lot of people in your circle in real life saying that, Trump is going to ruin healthcare. But let's listen to what the president actually has to say.
It's very interesting, the thing that he has to say here, because I almost know what he's going to say. But the reality of the situation is, how many times have we seen this nonsense go down since the Obamacare stuff happened? It doesn't work. It's not working. And then they say, oh, we got to have all of this money to do Obamacare. But they flip out whenever he said, well, we'll just take all that money that you need for Obamacare and give it to the people that need the medical care. They, no. That's crazy town.
That's right. Here we go.
Republicans like Katie Britt and Senator Cassidy and Tillis are saying, Mr. President, let's do something with the subsidies. Let's try to help people out. Are you going to start working in a bipartisan way?
Yeah, we do. We have something where instead of the insurance companies getting the money, they're making billions and billions of dollars. And it's lousy health care. They call it the Unaffordable Care Act, right? It is the Unaffordable Care Act. And I always said that. I said, this thing's going to explode. It's no good. And it is exploding, and it's unacceptable. It's too expensive for people. It's no good for the country, but it's worse for the people. It's lousy health care. And I want to give the money that we give to the insurance companies directly to the people, let the people buy their own health insurance, and that's what's going to happen. I believe that there's good support on both sides for that. And Katie's working on it. A lot of people are working on it. Rick Scott is working on it. Many, many senators are working on it. And, we have a January 30th date coming up. I'd like to see if we could do it by then. They're saying, well, let's go another year. And I said, let's see if we can get it done by January 30th. So there are a lot of people, including Democrats, that are working on this. Basically, taking your money, not giving the insurance, let their stock go down. Who the hell cares? They've made a fortune on this. Obama, what he handed to the insurance company, and I said it from the beginning. I said, this is an insurance company scam, and it's a scam against the people. And we don't give the money to the insurance company. We give the money directly to the people, and they buy their health insurance. It's a great and fairly, it's a very complex subject, but it's we've made it a lot less complex. You'd get better health insurance, and you'd save a lot of money.
Wow.
Can I ask a question? Is that our graphic?
No.
Okay. They got a graphic of Brett Baer interviewing Trump with Kilmeade's voice.
It's Fox stock footage.
I know, but it's just funny that they're putting that out like Kilmeade should complain.
Well, it's on it's a podcast, so they're just putting something there. So then you've got President Trump talking about the members of Congress, Shady Groove, encouraging the military to defy orders from the commander in chief. What does our president have to say about that, Shady?
We tried to tell them that the last that this anonymous person came out a number of years ago, tried to explain to them that the last thing that you want to be doing is treason and sedition. That's not going to be good.
Midnight's
so
Watch.
Warn them.
Much love, everyone here. God bless you, all family. $50 Rumble Rant. Thank you so much. We got Real Iron Eagle as well. If Kami Mandami wants donations, I'll donate a swift kick in his buttocks right out of the country. There you go.
Wait till Trump says he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. You guys are all gonna explode. Here we go. So this is in regards to the seditious Democrats.
Well, if you look at sedition, if you look at that type of, that's a very strong form of being a traitor. It's a terrible thing to say. I must tell you, I heard it, and I thought it was some kind of a comedy situation. I thought it was some kind of a skit, and because I couldn't believe that they'd say it. And I watched Democrat congressmen and one Democrat senator yesterday on one of the shows. Didn't even want to discuss it. They said, whoa, don't get me into that one. They didn't want to get into it. That is a really serious charge. I'll tell you what they said is, and it was, I don't know about the modern day things, because, modern day is a lot softer, but in the old days, if you said a thing like that, that was punishable by death.
Yeah, but you're not threatening them. A lot of people are interpreting there's a threat and there's security.
Well, I'm not threatening them, but I think they're in serious trouble. I would say they're in serious trouble. I'm not threatening death, but I think they're in serious trouble. In the old days, it was death.
Do you worry, Mr. President?
Seditious behavior.
Do you worry?
That was a big deal.
Do you worry?
Today, nothing's a big deal. Today's a different world. Okay, it's a softer, it's a meeker, milder world. But I will say this: I think what they did is really bad. The hatred is pretty strong. But what they say, essentially, don't follow the orders of the president of the United States.
So
to the military.
Do you worry that some of your guys are going to say no?
Young privates and young corporals and young sergeants, and they're not scholars necessarily. There might be a few, frankly, but they're not scholars. They don't, study the Constitution, et cetera, et cetera. They know that. So these are people. These are bad people. These are people that, in my opinion, broke the law. Now, what happens to them, I can't tell you, but they broke the law. That is a terrible statement. I can say if I ever said that, and there were a Democrat as president, all hell would have broken loose.
Yeah.
And it has broken loose. I have had more calls from people, even Democrats, saying what a horrible thing that was.
Wow, guys. So, we're gonna, I made a post today, Shady, about this, and it's kind of interesting, if you look at, what we know, right, Shady Groove? We know that there's things coming, possibly with the placeholders, right? There's military and civilian and all this kind of stuff, possibly for holding people accountable in the future. And the news will unlock that when that actually happens. So at this point, it's just a theory. But, I've never been more convinced that it's happening, Shady. And it's because the Dems are in full panic mode, screaming that Trump is about to give the U.S. military direct orders. And they're actually, absolutely terrified what those orders might be. Ask yourself this, Shady. What could President Trump legally order our military to do inside America that would make the left lose their minds like this?
Or order the real investigations down the line, because we figured things out like uranium one and special access systems, or SA, that were offered and sold out to China, things like that. Those are things that are in the realm of serious treason that could be easily uncovered. It's interesting. We're right here at this moment where we're trying to get Bill and Hillary up there on the stand. But Jeff, whenever he's talking, so can we just take apart for a second what these people did? We know who these 6 people were and what they said. They went and they made this video and what they said, but look at who they were. They're naval intelligence and they're CIA, ex-CIA.
And Air Force, yeah.
And Navy. And then they made the comment to all of the people. They didn't say the Marines. Number one, if you listen to the clip, they didn't say.
Yes, I noticed that.
The Army, right? So interesting to me because you got to think like, what are they activated about? Like, what is making them? What? There's no war. It's like nobody came out and said you can deny illegal orders whenever George Bush was sending people to die in the desert of Iraq. Like nobody even came close to saying something like that. No, you're going to get your ass over there and you're going to get blowed up. That's what's going to happen, and you're not going to resist anything. But right now they're saying that you can disobey illegal orders. Are they talking about the drug boats? I'm just saying, like, is that because everything that we know to be true and everything that we've been studying in the Pandora's book and everything going back to the mafia and the cartel, well, the whole system that they created is built on the drug trade. Okay, the system that they created that works in tandem and against
the black market.
The American economy is the black market. The black market is Bitcoin, human trafficking, and the drug trade. Mm-hmm. That's okay. So now all of a sudden, Donald Trump has we showed you day before yesterday, I think, all of the vessels, the naval ships that Donald Trump has put in the Caribbean. All of a sudden, every single boat coming out of Venezuela, Colombia, or Brazil is getting blowed up.
Real good.
So right now we blowed up the drug boats like they used to blowed up our good men and women over in Iraq. And now they're coming out and getting all animated saying you can deny the illegal order to blow up drug boats, because that's what Rand Paul is telling me. He's saying that that's illegal. So I'm just very interested in what the CIA is so motivated about, considering the way that I could see that their revenue is shrinking, Jeff. Is their revenue shrinking with every drug boat that goes to the bottom of the Atlantic? Yes.
Yeah. And you notice Bitcoin is down big time. There was a huge
down to 80.
Yeah. Crazy.
And falling. And I could just add a little bit of something to that real quick. It's due to massive sell-off. So the reason that Bitcoin is dropping like a rock, and it's possibly going to drop even more, is because a couple of major entities that held like 300,000 Bitcoin, well, now they've liquidated down to 150. They've opened up like almost 150,000 Bitcoin that they've sold in the last 3 to 4 weeks. So why would all of these off books money be selling all that Bitcoin right now at this moment? It's just maybe I'm a conspiracy guy, Jeff.
Maybe just a little bit. So the Democrats don't give up the ship is a coded threat to military intelligence and intel committees. Let's listen to Chanel Rion real quick. Check it out.
Very good report.
Current commentary online is obsessing over how Democrats are encouraging insurrection in our military. Okay, well, maybe. They couch their language in legalese, meaning they're not on the face of it doing anything illegal. It's deeper than that. This is a threat to all of our current military service personnel to cast doubt on their every single actions under this administration. This video was a warning shot. Every face from that video advocated kicking out service members who refused to take the COVID jab. This time around, the threat is intentionally ambiguous. It's designed to paralyze our military and intelligence services. It's designed to plant a seed so that every service member will live with the guilt of carrying out the orders of their leadership under Trump. This was a message to our service members, an effort to recruit moles and traitors. I highlighted Maggie Goodlander because of all the people in that video. She is the closest we get to taking the temperature of the Obama-Clinton deep state. Maggie Goodlander just gave us a sampling of what lies ahead. The Democrats are going to make every effort to bring all of the Department of War and intelligence services under their umbrella once again. This time they're using ambiguous threats. They made it very clear, if you serve a Republican administration, you're breaking the law. Do what we tell you, and you're free and clear. And if the Democrats take control over the entire national intelligence and armed services, they will take control over the entire country. That's always been their plan. Coming up,
and who's we won't say names, but we know whose plan that is as well. They wanted Donald Trump to sign the Insurrection Act before January 6th, and he did, and that they were promised that he was going to sign that by certain people, and it didn't happen. President Trump is outmaneuvering all of these people, Shady, including what you think are MAGA influencers.
Yeah, and what she's saying there is absolutely 130% what is going on. That's the reason that they made the video. This is the reason for the video, and this is the reason that Donald Trump is pointing at them and telling them that what they are doing is walking a knife edge because they are trying to recruit. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. They are trying to recruit. They are trying to get people within the intelligence community and within the U.S. military to reach out to them so that they can surreptitiously communicate with them back inside and develop or coordinate a different chain of command. You understand this? So if they could get a platoon or a group of numbnuts or whatever you want to call them to come up and say, oh, well, we think we're doing illegal things out here in the South China Sea. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm just making that up, but that's the reality of what they're doing. And that's the reason that it's so dangerous. And that's the reason that these 6 people are probably going to be facing some type of,
pushback, something.
They need to be censured in Congress or, especially the Slotkin and the Mark Kelly guy.
All of them.
Well, all of them.
So then President Trump, and we've been talking about the issue on Fridays with our Pandora box premium subscription content. And if you haven't gotten it, join premium today because we're going in hour number 2 into premium, talking about some more the Pandora's box stuff. And Shady, they lifted a black cloud over the Middle East. And we all know what that black cloud is because of how they handled and financed or lack of finance the Middle East and hoodwinked the Middle East back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Shady.
And really that was like the culmination of all the work that they had done the 100 years prior. Because,
undone by President Trump.
Correct. Because we understand that, they're going back to like before the Balfour Declaration, before World War I, before the Federal Reserve, they already had their control of the Arab oil. That's what they called it back then. They called it the Arab oil.
Arab.
And it doesn't matter if it was Saudi Arabia or if it was Qatar or if it was what country it was. They already had the control. They've leveraged that. That oil supply over there in that desert is what they leveraged to generate World War I and World War II. Had they not had that alternate oil supply, other than the oil that was here in America at that particular time, they would not have been able to generate World War I or World War II because no one else had any oil.
That's right. All right, so here's President Trump on the Middle East. Check it out.
We have now peace in the Middle East. We have countries signed on. We have so many countries that are signed on. In fact, it changes every single day. Countries are being added. There's never been a time like this in the Middle East. You have peace in the Middle East. Now, you have Hamas, which has been, beaten very badly. You have Iran, which has been beaten very badly, and their nuclear capability taken away, and they want to make a deal, and we probably will make a deal with Iran. But you have peace for the first time in the Middle East. You have real peace in the Middle East. You have Hezbollah with Lebanon, which is not good, but that's a, relatively small situation, not a good situation, but small. But you had things 1 year ago, you had nuclear weapons. You had Iran was, boasting about how strong they were. This is a totally different Middle East right now. And you have countries that want to make peace as opposed to countries that had no idea of making peace. We've taken a big dark cloud off of the Middle East by bringing Iran back down to size.
Wow. That's what your president is doing. He's undoing all of it, Shady Groove. This is amazing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to. I think I'm having the same moment that you're having. It's like we've lived our whole life with this nonsense, like this absolute destruction, nothing but destruction. And then they brought a lot of these people here that don't want to do anything but destroy the stuff that's here. And in all reality, everybody's on the wrong page. Everybody is on the wrong page in the conversation because nobody has any.
We have now pieces.
Because nobody has any freaking facts. Nobody can orient themselves to what they should think about any given topic. Yeah. So all of us together have been, standing, to some degree, standing in the way, with Donald Trump. And what you're seeing right now from these people that are coming out, like, the whole InfoWars crew now is full on. I mean, it's full on war from the InfoWars crew against Donald Trump. And here Alex Jones sits at the head of it pretending like, oh, we're just asking questions. And he has Patrick Byrne on there and he's saying, oh, well, we really love Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. Really? Really, you do? That's interesting because what we've seen is something completely different out of those two. And so it's just funny for me to watch the whole InfoWars layer turn into the Democrat Party right in front of us and go right along with Antifa, go right along with BLM, and go right along with the talking points of the Democrat Party, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I mean, remember we played that video of Chuck Schumer. They're agreeing with all of that. Oh, and Shady, I wanted to give you this.
Oh, don't give me anything.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come on. Oh, why is it?
Yay.
Sea lion sounds, Shady Groove. Don't you love it? That's what we're here for on the MG show, guys. God bless you, Shady. We're here for your rants. God bless you, Shady. I love it. And that was just a funny comment. If that guy's watching, let us know that you saw it because we thought it was funny. All right, Shady Groove, what else is going on here? Oh, my gosh. Chanel Rion. We got Donald Trump. We got a communist coming into the White House today. Wow. We have other news, too. We've got the unhinged low IQ Crockett. She's winning a trophy today for the far most delusional Democrat of the week. She recently compared Plaskett receiving texts from Jeffrey Epstein, who pleaded guilty for committing child sex crimes, to her receiving texts from her pastor. Shady Grove, you ready?
This is the most unbelievable. Like you talk about. I swear, like did you see? Let me jump into this real quick. Did you see Caitlin Collins interview that lady yet? Did you see that clip, Jeff?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, Caitlin Collins is like sitting there and she's asking her about why you said that about Jeffrey Epstein. And she's like, oh, well, I just made sure I went to Google and I made sure that it was Epstein. And I made sure that whenever
yes, I did see that.
And Caitlin, the look on Caitlin Collins' face when Jasmine Crockett is live on CNN saying that nonsense is absolutely golden. Like you can see the wheels spinning. She's like, this lady is absolutely one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen sit in front of me.
Because I'm sorry, but like we don't have ethical rules that say that you can't receive text messages or you can't respond to text messages, especially if somebody has a certain record and you can't do it in committee. We all be sitting on our phones and yes, people be texting. I mean, our staff texts us. Like everybody texts us. Like people, I remember when I had the bleach blonde situation, you know who was texting me? My pastor. Okay. So let me be clear. There is no ethical violation. And so the idea or the audacity to decide that you want to strip a Black woman of her committee assignment because she was texting with Epstein. Because
that's what I want to do as an American.
Me too.
Me too. Press 47 if you want to relieve Stacey Plaskett of her intel, all of her committees, all of it, and censor her. Let's 100%. See.
There's no reason against it. Like you guys say that all this stuff is wrong with Epstein. You're taking prompts from him. It's not like you're having what you having a Chardonnay for? No, he's sending her information in real time. She's so stupid. She doesn't even know who he's talking about. She's like, what's the acronym of Rona? It's the person that's like his personal assistant that he's had with him for however many. Like the lady doesn't even know, but Jeffrey Epstein knows. And Jeffrey, Trump's great friend, Jeffrey Epstein, right? That they keep telling us, oh, well, no. Everybody wants to tell me that Epstein and Trump were the bestest of friends. Well, why would the bestest of friends be outing them to Congress in real time?
Wow. And I did see that. That was interesting. And she's like, oh, I just said it was Jeffrey Epstein. It's so stupid. No,
and she said it
you lied.
She said it like we're supposed to understand that it wasn't that. I went yesterday. I had to go search. It said 83. There's 83 people in America with that name. That's talk about losing the name lottery. Can you imagine being a human being on this earth in America today with the name Jeffrey Epstein and have to wake up every single morning to deal with your people around you? This absolute catering that's going on. Like the Zelda's like, the Jeffrey Epstein, the doctor Jeffrey Epstein, he donated to me. What a nice guy.
I want to, speaking of Epstein, so now we go to Stephen A. Smith. I loved his wording here because he said he's warning the Democrats that President Trump is playing them like a fiddle on the Epstein files. And I think he is. And you know why, Shady Grove? Because of this. This is a post from 3961. Who knows what this means, but it sounds good to me. My next piece is called Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming. You are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. That's what the Epstein files are going to do, Shady. And
Yes.
yeah, President Trump really posted that, Shady Groove.
Yes, he did.
And who knows what this means? Anons know.
Because this has to do with the network, okay? Guys, listen. And I know you're the same person. Let me say this very slow and clear. And I'd like some help out there in the in the Twitterverse of explaining this to people. The same foreign funding that funded Jeffrey Epstein funded InfoWars. Okay, the Khashoggis, Adnan Khashoggi, the whole situation with Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Adnan Khashoggi. What's his name? Oliver North, Iran-Contra, the network, General Flynn, all of these people, Michael Aquino, all this nonsense with psychological warfare against you and the military is connected to this. Why? Because Adnan Khashoggi is who helped start InfoWars. That's where the money came from. So all of the stuff that you saw with InfoWars was a controlled opposition operation from the jump, from the very beginning. 100% like Bill Cooper says. And all of these people that are out there that are addicted to InfoWars right now are getting themselves are in a pickle because they're going to follow their heroes or they're going to follow Trump into the golden age, but they cannot do both. You cannot follow InfoWars back to the Cold War neocon era because George W. Bush is coming back. You know, remember that George W. Bush just announced that he's coming back so that all these InfoWar neocons like Rand Paul and Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they got somebody to depend on.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, United States of Q, for the love of truth and winning. Thanks to continue to inspire and lead this truth movement into greatness. 47. Thank you so much. $5 Rumble rant. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. But here's Stephen. Here's a Stephen. What's his name? Stephen A. Smith. Here we go.
He did something that I didn't see coming. He said, to hell with it, open the files. I'll sign to open the files. No problem. And the first words that came to my mind was, uh-oh. Because Donald Trump is not going to do that if it's going to be something that significantly hurts Donald Trump. He's going to do it if, dare I say, he's got something on other people. Because that is who we know him to be, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. There's no way around this. And sure enough, one of the first names that came out was Larry Summers, who worked as the Treasury Secretary under the Clinton administration, who worked on economic policies for Barack Obama, who was religiously associated with the left, who was still teaching at Harvard, and then ultimately had to step back and step away from public settings and things of that nature, scale back his role within the last 24 hours because he was one of the names that appeared in the Epstein files. He was somebody that knew Epstein. He was somebody that kept in constant contact with Epstein. He was somebody that Epstein had influenced and coaxed Epstein into donating millions upon millions of dollars to Harvard University. I mean, in excess of $9 million. Okay? This is the kind of stuff that was happening. And you found yourself saying, oh, damn. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, that's exactly what you should be thinking. It should be, oh, damn. Because that's just the first shoe to drop. Why is Larry Summers bothered? Why does he have to step away? Why has his reputation been impugned to some degree? It's very, very simple when you think about it. The reason that it happened was because there were emails. And those emails revealed that this man that had been married for decades was asking Jeffrey Epstein for dating advice. And we don't know all the details about it, but this man that had been married for decades needs dating advice. Obviously, it wasn't to date his wife. And not only was he communicating with Jeffrey Epstein prior to Jeffrey Epstein being arrested and indicted back in 2007, 2008, whenever it was, this was a year before Epstein had committed suicide, reportedly. in like 2018. And he's in there asking for advice on how to pick up this woman. After the man had been associated with sexual assault and sexual offenses of minors, you were still communicating with him. Is that somebody that you asked for dating advice from? He did. He did. And then as you look and you scour the internet and you see old footages, we've seen old footages of Michelle Obama. We've seen old footages of Barack Obama. We've seen old footages of Bill Clinton. Ladies and gentlemen, do you really, really think that Donald Trump is going to sign off on releasing the Epstein files and not have a boatload of stuff that he's going to throw in the Democrats' direction? At some point in time, we got to fall back to what one of my boys, Jeff Brown in LA, said. He said, Trump has become a verb. The name Trump has become a verb. He's trumping the Democrats at every turn, playing them like a fiddle. Now, I don't know whether this is true or not, but I know there are people that believe that. And the reason why you got to have attach substance to it because what else would make sense? You got a 2026 midterm election coming up. You think Donald Trump's going to do something to harm himself and damage or compromise his legacy with what he's trying to get done, whatever that may be? You think he's going to do that? He's not going to do that. If he does it, it's going to be, hey, it's because of them.
Nice. Destruction of the old guard, guys, like a fiddle. We're playing them like a fiddle. You know, Q even said, what did he say, Shady? We highlighted the Epstein for a very specific reason, and now you're starting to see it. Now you're starting to see it, right? So now we all did all this research on Epstein. We realized it was all Democrats, okay? We realized that Trump did not fly to the island with the proof of the Epstein logs, and this is the destruction of the old guard, Republicans and Democrats.
You know, what's being exposed is that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset known by other intelligence assets. Okay. And so what was explained was those former clowns currently seeking office, those former clowns elected to office, those former clowns currently in government, those former clowns are also intel assets. In other words, they are not minions of Epstein. They are peers of Epstein. People like Swalwell, people like Kamala Harris, people like Nancy Pelosi. All of these different people are peers. They're all on the same level. They're in the same game. And that game is placate to the people that send them money. Right. And it's the deal with the devil. There's no other way to look at it. It is the deal made with the devil. And all of these people that made that deal are no different than Jeffrey Epstein. And so what Mr. Smith is saying there, and let me just, can't temper him, because that guy is a numbnut in his own right and has said some absolutely ridiculous things about Donald Trump that are not provable and not true, but we'll step over that for a second to say this. He's seeing it for them. In other words, when smart people start to see things that are going on, other dumb people start to see that smart people are seeing things, and then they start pretending like they were smart the whole time. Yeah. That is starting to happen right now among Democrats. They're having light bulb moments. They see Jasmine Crockett go on CNN, and she literally says that nobody really thought that I meant that Jeffrey Epstein. She said that.
Yeah.
And every single Democrat that heard her has a moment where their mind turns back around and looks at itself. And it's like, wait, what did she just say? She just literally said that to me. Of course I thought it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Who else would I possibly? What? I've been tricked. Once that little thing happens to the human mind, the future changes.
So, we got that. And then, you've got the Democrats voting to release the Epstein files, and now they cannot stop what is coming. Check this out, Shady Groove. I made a little meme about it.
That's true.
Oh, nothing can stop what is coming.
Sounds so nice.
Playing them like a fiddle. Love it. Love it. So yeah, we got all that happening. We got
He did something that I didn't.
he did something that I didn't do. Boo. All right, so I also want to talk about this too because it's huge. We got 10 minutes here, and we're going into hour number 2, pretty much right at 1 o'clock, Yeti, and wanted to cover this real quick because it's pretty big. We've got a question for everyone. Who here has heard of Hansjörg Wyss? Right?
Me.
Yeah, you. Where did you hear about him?
From here, from
On
us.
this show? How long ago?
4+ years.
4+ years ago. Listen to this. This is AG Mike Hilgers in Nebraska. Check this out.
I think almost everyone would agree this is a bipartisan issue. And until 2021, Amanda, I think we thought that the law actually prohibited foreign funding of state elections. About 2021, the FEC issued a ruling that said, actually, no, federal law doesn't prohibit it the way that you think that it does. And only about 10 or 12 states, Nebraska is one of them, California actually is another, but most have not. We actually closed the loophole in state law. I was the speaker. We passed the law that said no federal funding, either directly or indirectly, of state ballot initiatives. Well, it turns out that we have had a deluge of funding in Nebraska over the last several election cycles. Last year was $10 million, which in Nebraska is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money anywhere, but in Nebraska, it funds a lot of ballot petitions, and all tied to a specific billionaire funder out of Switzerland, a guy by the name of Hansjörg Wyss. And we think it violates Nebraska state law, so we filed a lawsuit to put a stop to it.
You can't even say his name right.
It's amazing. What do we
But
know
they changed
about?
companies.
I mean, look, Hansjörg Wyss has been one of the biggest funders in America. He's not an American citizen. He's just simply dumping money in. What's his motive? What are his connections? What have you learned in the early discovery in your lawsuit? Why is a man far from here want to influence our elections?
Well, I can go by what he's saying publicly. And what he's saying publicly is he's a far left progressive. Yep. He certainly wants to influence the trajectory of the United States, I think primarily through funding these statewide ballots. He has said publicly also that he's kind of proud of the fact that his name's not on any of these donations, which they're not. Right. And so you can't directly tie the money to him without some spade work, which we've done. So we think that he's trying to dramatically reshape the United States, which we think is both unlawful and immoral and wrong. Yeah. What we found is, so far, we just filed the lawsuit, John, so we're going to ask for all sorts of discovery, and we're going to find out even more. But what we found so far is that there's a tremendous amount of money, upwards of $500 million, that have flown into the United States to influence all sorts of elections.
And they're literally flown in, right? They come in on plates?
No, I'm sorry, flowing in. I'm sorry. No.
That would be really something.
That'd be like a movie in the making.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Like Obama with pallets of cash.
Flowing through these intermediaries.
Yeah.
We've identified 6 so far. Wow. Some of them you've heard of, 1630 Fund, which is a big funder on the left, Burger Action Fund, New Venture Fund, and that these intermediaries are then providing large checks to local groups to then who then spend the money on the ballot petition. So we know it's a lot of money. We know it's from a foreign source. We know they're going through intermediaries, and we know they're really trying to turn states like Nebraska blue. And that's why we filed the lawsuit to put a stop to it.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a twisted version of like a pass-through organization. How do you stop it, though? Because, I mean, you would like to think that you could leave it up to that organization, knowing what the law now is in Nebraska, to say, sorry, we can't accept this. But I don't think you can trust them.
Well, you certainly can. And evidence of that is the fact that they're doing it already. We have this law in place since 2022. They were funding ballot petitions in 2018. And ever since we passed the law, they've actually spent more money on ballot petitions in the state of Nebraska. So the law on its own has not been enough to deter them. And I think that's true in other states also. And really kind of unfortunate. So you can't rely on the good faith of the people operating these entities. Now, if we're successful in our lawsuit, getting an order saying that this is unlawful under Nebraska law, then there's pretty significant penalties, including criminal penalties. And so we are going to put a stop to this one way or another through our litigation. It's just really sad that it's come to this. You'd like to think that people would follow the rules, but you know what? They're not from the United States. Oh. And these are rules that have never had to apply to them, but they will apply to them. And that's what our lawsuit's meant to do.
Yeah. I mean, we knew about this, how long ago? 4 years ago, guys. Wow.
And it's systemic. It'd be great if some of these people would ask us some questions.
I think almost everyone would agree.
It'd be great if some people would ask us some questions, because we could literally get him to the head of the snake a lot quicker than you're fumbling around trying to figure it out yourself, buddy. You're not understanding exactly how the money is flowing in, and you're not understanding that your state isn't able to see who's supplying the money through the 501c4 organizations.
Yeah. Wow. And yeah, it's, finally somebody actually saying, he didn't even know how to say the name right. I mean, but when you're suing somebody, maybe get the name right. I'm just going to say that.
Well, because he's read it on the internet, he's never heard someone say it.
Hansjörg Wyss.
Whenever you just look at it, unless you hear people talking about it, nobody says the name.
Yeah. Somebody send him the MG show, guys.
Yeah, or I'm actually going to send him a message. So
do it, because we need to do that. You Californians are really lucky. Check this out, guys. Woo!
Country.
What are we going to do? How do you stop this?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I love California. It's the greatest country in the world.
Wait, what? It's the greatest what?
Yeah.
Country.
Greatest country in the world. But that's why it pisses me off to see Californians running through the fields where they work from ICE agents or troops.
Those Californians.
Horrifying.
It's horrifying.
It's absolutely
or cancer research
horrifying.
Being canceled. It's awful to look at. And our state, this great state, needs a fighter and a protector, someone who will bring prices down, lift wages up.
You can't do either.
You can say that we're the fourth largest economy in the world, and we are, and I love to brag about that. But what does that mean if you can't afford to live here? So I've been in these fights as a city council member up in Dublin, my hometown, as a prosecutor in Oakland, and taking on the most corrupt president ever in the US Congress. But I'm ready to bring this fight home. So I came here tonight, Jimmy, to tell you and your audience that I'm running to be the next governor of California. I'm excited to do it.
Wow, California, you're so lucky. You get a Chinese bang, bang, fang, fang guy.
Yeah, we're going to have Kamala Harris and Swalwell competing for the governor of California, as Gavin Newsom thinks that he's going to win the presidency.
Oh, my God, guys.
It's going to be fun.
Wow, you guys are lucky.
I have a feeling that something's going to happen, and California is not going to be the blue state that it has been for our whole lives in the future.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen.
It's got to, guys, because you are more red than blue. I guarantee you. I mean, look, that's why they needed to gerrymander the districts.
Well, so are we here in Oregon. A lot of people don't realize that. You hear people talk about Oregon, California, Washington State, and, everybody just dismisses us as this liberal stronghold. Boy, we're really not. There's the liberal stronghold is in Portland. The liberal stronghold is in Sacramento, and the liberal stronghold is up there in Seattle. Like that, like that's where it hails from, and they control the whole I-5 corridor of politics here, guys, and they use the cartel to do it. But if you go outside that I-5 corridor, which would be like, let's say 10 miles both sides of I-5 all the way up through Northern California and into Oregon and Washington, you go outside of that span, and people are fed up, and they are normal, and they farm, and they do normal things. They are not worried about gender. They're worried about America. They go to church, and they have picnics, and they are normal human beings out here just like everywhere else. But, Idaho, the whole thing with Idaho, Boise, Idaho now is turning, pink-haired.
You to what?
Pink-haired.
You to what?
You to man.
Idaho?
Idaho.
You to what?
I'm not a hoe.
I didn't say that.
Why are you calling me a hoe?
Hey. Real quick, before we get out of here in the 2 minutes, I think we got another pesky Q-proof. We got to go over some of these because Bill and Hillary's public health will begin to rapidly deteriorate, guys. This is from Lance Stiles Beats right here. You've got this Congress of the United States. It says, but a series of health issues have prevented their testimony. Q-Post 2725, chatter, Bill and Hillary's public health will begin to rapidly deteriorate. 11th hour testimony. This is December 17th at 10 a.m., December 8th at 10 a.m., on 2025, Clinton, Hussein, illegal FISAs. It must be done right. It must be done according to the rule of law. It must carry weight. It must be proven in the court of law. There can be no mistakes. Good things sometimes take time, guys. Attempt to slow block the inevitable. Nothing can stop what is coming. Justice will fail. Democrat election interference in 2016. Clinton, Hussein, illegal FISA. And that's Barack Obama. Democrats election interference 2018. Mueller. Democrats election interference 2020. Impeachment. Projection. These people are sick. We, the people, are the cure.
Wow. It's about time, guys.
Wow.
You can't run and hide right now. It's just starting to get good. That's what I said.
Yeah. A little pesky. It's a little pesky, Shady Grove, these little Q proofs.
Yeah,
but Comer also said that he's going to treat them like the Dems treated Bannon and Navarro. Thank you. If they don't show up, they're going to be in jail. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, wouldn't that be something? Imagine, like, just imagine the way that the media would flip out if they went and grabbed up Bill and Hillary and put them in prison for doing exactly what it was that Steve Bannon did.
That's right. And we are going to be going in 5, 4. We're going to Rebel Premium. Sign up now. There's going to be a button. Sign it. Yeti, do it.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.